Hey everyone, welcome to Blade Lust, the only show with lust in the title that your wife won't get mad at for you watching. On today's episode of Blade Lust, we're going to take a look at the Rock Apex TD-18B knife from HX Outdoors. As you can see, it comes with this not so beautiful black plastic case, which is a nice touch. If you ever forget what knife goes in this box, you have a nice photo here of that. Nice foam inserts inside the case. While it's not waterproof, it's definitely weather resistant. You can hear the audible clicks on the plastic case as it closes, so that's a very nice touch. You don't see this often. Most of these knives come in cardboard boxes, so I appreciate that. This is the Rock Apex TD-18B survival knife from HX Outdoors. This is a fixed blade knife that is built for serious work with a 3.8 inch DC53 blade, a titanium nitride coating, and a rugged G10 handle. This blade promises durability and delivers stylish looks. See a little lanyard hole there. Let me walk you through what makes this knife interesting, the good, the bad, and whether I'd stake my life on it in the wild. The blade is DC53 steel, which is rated at about 58 to 62, 63 on the Rockwell hardness. In terms of hardness, this gives it a balance between edge retention and toughness. So what is DC53 steel? I've had this question quite a bit. DC53 steel is a cold work. DC53 steel is a cold work die, mold, and tool steel developed as an improved alternative to SKD11 and D2 type steels. So it is a Japanese steel, even though a lot of Chinese manufacturers will use that today. Its design goals are simple: to push hardness, wear resistance, and toughness simultaneously, better machinability, processing behavior, better stability than conventional D2 or SKD11. This is a cold work die tool steel designed for toughness, wear resistance, and better machinability than traditional D2. Compared to D2, DC53 has higher toughness, better fatigue resistance. I'll show you the back of the spine here. Better fatigue resistance and can be hardened to around 62 to 63 on the Rockwell hardness scale while also retaining its strength. It's popular for dies, punches, and high-performance cutting tools. The surface of the blade is coated titanium nitride, helping with corrosion resistance and giving this low, reflective, stealthy look. Now I have studio lights in here so I can get a little reflection off of it, but that's because the lights are so intense. Normal usage, you will not get much reflection from this blade because of that titanium coating. You may get a little bit on the sharpened edge where the bare metal shines through. The blade is full tang. You can see that here, extending all the way down and through the handle and ending in a checkered strike pommel, which is great to pound in tent steaks or to tenderize that piece of steak you're going to be cooking over the fire later. Thickness is about 0.4 centimeters or 0.16 of an inch, which is a decent middle ground. Strong but not overly bulky. Balance point is a little bit kids, don't try this at home, is going to be right at where the finger guard extends in the handle. So right there, that's the balance point. Overall length is 22.6 centimeters or 8.9 inches with a blade length of 9.6 centimeters or 3.8 inches. This is not a large, bulky chopper or survival blade. It's just the right size for those of you that carry a Moraniv, like a Swedish style hiking or camping knife, which is what I will do with this knife. I will put this in my day pack, my hiking bag, my bag to not scare the civvies when I'm out in the woods for just a quick day hike, maybe an overnight, or I will use it for food prep in the at my campsite and for doing light chores. If I knew that I was going to rely on a knife for my actual survival, this would make a short list. I like that it's not incredibly heavy, it's not bulky, it's thin and fast and light, but it's also strong enough to do what you need it to do. The handle is going to be black G10. You can see there's some nice texturing there that they've cut in. The knife has a good solid grip under wet and slippery conditions. The shape is ergonomic with enough contour to fit your hand without fatigue. During my usage and testing of this blade, I found the handle to be very comfortable, even for medium to large hands like mine. No hot spots were perceived from this knife. It's been a great little blade. In the hands, it feels balanced, not too tip heavy, not too blade light. Perfect for, like I said, utility task, bushcraft, and survival work. The knife does sport a drop point blade with the spine sloping gently down towards the tip, which gives you a strong controllable point. The blade grind is a high saber flat grind, flat style, adding to its slicing capabilities. It has a fairly deep finger guard here on the handle with an additional finger choil above that for doing detailed work. You can see that here with jimping on the back of the spine. Perfect for feather sticking or carving using that finger choil. Interesting about this blade from HX Outdoors are the use case icons that are actually put into the blade. So you can see that this, and this is something that HX does on some of its survival blades to show off intended field functions. So you can see this one here is the fire starter icon. Tells you that this 90-degree spine or designated edge, you can see that edge does not have the DLC coating, is going to be where the blade is suitable for striking a ferro rod, which is also built into the sheath here. Speaking of the sheath and the ferro rod, let me be fair and clip it in there. There is no noise. It holds the ferro rod securely in the sheath. The other usage icon here is going to be for feather stick or wood shaving icon. This indicates the knife is designed for controlling wood carving, like making feather sticks, and for fire prep. The Chinese characters, probably didn't notice that, but I did. It has Chinese characters on the back of the strike. I'm going to call it a strike pommel there. That, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but it's Quaidao. I guess I will try to pronounce it, but I'll butcher it. It literally means quenching way, or way of tempering. It's a branding term that HX Outdoors uses, referring to their heat treatment and tempering philosophy in making blades. It emphasizes traditional forging and quenching techniques. Material for the sheath, this is a molded Kydex sheath built to lock in the knife securely. So if you clip the knife in, let's fasten the thing. It holds the knife very securely in the sheath. There is a little rattling, and my ferrocerium fire starter did fall out, but it does hold the knife fairly securely in the sheath. The Kydex sheath has multiple riveting holes for lashing options. You can strap it to your molly gear, a pack, or wear it scout style with the belt loop here. It's got a button strap at the top, which is going to also help lock down the knife in the sheath for extra security. And then branding HX Outdoors logo is stamped into the sheath. You can see that here. You can also see the fire symbol stamped here where the ferro cord or ferro rod sits in the sheath, and similar stamping on the ferrocerium rod itself. So that's interesting. I mean, I think they added a lot of neat little touches to this knife and to this setup. It's been a good little knife so far. Of course, the ferrocerium rod is for use to produce sparks. I'll show you some of that. Make sure I don't catch anything on fire. Oops. Okay. Kids don't do that in the house. Oops. Don't want to catch the house on fire. That would be bad. So you can see the little campfire icon there. It slides into the sheath holder, the rod does. So you've always got a spark source with your knife. I ran it through rope cutting, light batoning, slicing, food prep, and general camp chores. It handles the rope and cord well. The tip is strong, though I would not force it into prying activities. It's not designed for that. The edge geometry of the blade lets it slice without dragging too much. And because DC53 is known for toughness, it resists chipping under harder use. The coating helps fight corrosion. Though in salty or highly acidic environments, I'd still rinse and oil it before you put it back in the sheath, if that's available to you. And of course, the handles G10 is going to hold up very, very well for both impacts and weather. After moderate usage, this knife held its edge very well. Touching it up with a light stone, a light fine stone, brought it back without too much effort. It's not a super high-end steel where you get months of usage without sharpening. However, it is solid, very solid for everyday survival and utility. The coating is good on the blade, but if it's scratched deeply, the base metal can show. I did not receive any scratches on the blade as of yet, but just speaking from experience with other DLC coated or titanium nitride coated blades, Sometimes that can happen, so just be aware of that. Again, it's not ideal for prying, heavy prying. Don't abuse the tip. It's also not, obviously not a chopper. There's bigger, heavier, and better built knives for that. The handle is really good. I like that. I like the design. It's attractive. It's also comfortable to hold, but it actually could be just a little bit fatter for my hands. Also for extremely cold or wet hands where you're using gloves, you're out in the snow, a more aggressive texture might grip a little bit better. This is a multi-role survival knife that is a great value for the price, and I highly recommend it. The Rock Apex TD-18B. Check it out. Great little knife. All right, guys, that is it for today. Remember, stay sharp or stay home. Thanks.